Hi friend, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a ton of empties to share with you. We've got stuff in all the categories. It is bananas. I have not been able to film in a really long time. And so I feel like at the end of every year, there's always this huge surge of items that I manage to get myself to use up. And this might be the largest surge ever. So let's not go ahead and labor this any further and dive in with the multitude of makeup items that I have finished off. I'm gonna start with the makeup items that are like the boring ones. I'm gonna call them boring. And the first one is a setting spray. So this is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I have to say, I really do like this setting mist. I picked this up at a TJ Maxx for $8, which I loved having paid for this. I just really like the way it applies. I feel like this gives me a really beautiful fine mist that also like very nicely coats my face and kind of helps blend everything together. It reminds me of the MAC Fix Plus, but just I think in a better canister. I just prefer this. It's just my thing. I probably won't buy it again because again, I've liked it for a long time, but haven't sought it out until it was jumping out at me on a shelf at TJ Maxx. I want to say it was like last year, just about. And so it took me a long time to use it. It was great, but again, I don't think I'd seek it out unless it was conveniently placed at a TJ Maxx or Marshall's. I've also managed to finish up the e.l.f. Solid Sponge Cleaner. I think this is a great price point for a makeup brush cleaner. It comes with a pretty decent soap bar, and I just like that it has the canister, that it comes with like this, it's easy to store it. It's relatively inexpensive. I want to say it's $3 maybe. I do wish that you could buy just this piece once and then keep buying the bars of soap, but whatever. I'm sure I could buy a circle soap if I really felt like it, but I'm just too lazy. I also like that this helps not only clean my brushes, but it keeps them soft, which I do think is helpful. I wash my brushes pretty consistently once a week with the sponge and water process, so I have repurchased this. I do really like it. Then I have a number of primers that I have finished off. I have 2 primer samples in a full size. So for my sample primers, I have the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer Hydrating Primer. Good grief, this stuff is almost like the thinnest liquid I've ever put on my face before. And I also think it broke me out. I have this fine line I have to walk where I can have this time of year drier skin, but if I put too moisturizing of a product on my skin or things that are too rich for their ingredients to help hydrate you, it does cause me to break out. And I do believe this caused that, so I wouldn't purchase it. It also was very hard to get the right amount. It was very easy to go overboard with this, so not a fan. And then I've got the Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Primer. Oh my gosh, this was so heavily fragranced. It was bananas. Aside from the fact that I never buy a Tom Ford product because they're so expensive, this was just, to me, not great. Wouldn't want to actually purchase it. And then the last one I have is my full-size primer, which I feel like I'm the only person still rooting for this brand, loving this brand, and that's Revlon. It's the Revlon Photo Ready Prime Plus Perfecting and Smoothing Makeup and Skincare Primer. Revlon is really easy to coupon for at CVS. I tend to be able to sync up good deals plus cosmetic like in-store CVS coupons to get these for next to nothing. So that's why I ended up with this. I was like, oh, let me try this. I think this is interesting. I don't really know a lot about primers. At the time I was looking for what I call like a fall winter type of primer, which is where I'm looking for something that's going to be a little bit hydrating, but also not too intense. And I think this is good for that. It did a nice job basically evening out my skin tone and giving me like a little lick of moisture. It definitely wasn't mattifying my face, which was nice because this time of year I do get really pale, and then to be really matte on top of it, it just makes me really translucent and sad looking. So this was helpful for that. The only thing I didn't like was that the pump kind of crapped out with about this much product left. So I did on a handful of occasions take my beauty spatula and like go in there and scrape it. But I was like, this is kind of a nuisance to do that because I couldn't just uncap it with the cap on. You couldn't unscrew it. And then 2, when I would do this, you couldn't like click this into place because you can see here that it goes a little bit into the cap and then the cap isn't level. Those are a lot of specific complaints about this for a very specific problem, which none of that would have mattered if this had just gone all the way to the actual bottom of the product, but it just didn't, which is fine. It's basically like a silicone type of primer, but I liked it, it was effective, and I would probably buy it again. I'm trying to use some of the other primers in my collection, and I keep finding myself wanting to purchase this. The only other con I will just say to you if you're a scent person, it has this like weird, like crayon scent. There's clearly no scent added to this, and it didn't bother me once it was on my face, but I always noticed it when I pumped it out. So I like this stuff. I like a lot of products from Revlon, but I'm just not sure how much longer we're gonna have Revlon as a brand. A few more boring type of makeup products I finished off. I have this e.l.f. Daily Brush Cleaner. This stuff is great. I use this to spritz my brushes every single day just as a way to get the color off of each brush and keep them from kind of like getting grimy and worked throughout the week. So this stuff is great. I will happily keep rebuying it. And then I have 2 lip balms. I have my Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask sample. Whenever I can get this as like a freebie from somewhere, I always take it because I think there's a pretty decent amount in here, and I do like this product. I have used full size of these, I think about a dozen times at this point. This stuff is great. And then a historical feat for me, I finally finished off the world's longest lasting lip balm, and that's the Trader Joe's #1 Almond Cream Moisturizing Lip Balm. I got this 2 years ago, and it has been my go-to morning application, and my goodness, it has lasted me and lasted me and lasted me. I will say, if I wasn't somebody who was so infatuated with using products from start to finish, I probably would have appreciated the fact that this lasted me so long because it is a quality lip balm. It doesn't require you to apply it 100 times because it lasts on your lips. Like, it clearly is impactful and it's not overly slippy or like gunky on your lips. It's very pleasant and very well done at what it does. It just means that you'll have it for years, literal years. So I'm happy that this is gone and I can work through other lip balms that have just been staring me in the face being like, when are you gonna use me? But I will say, if you don't like the idea of having a lip balm for this long, probably want to pass on it. Oh, I have another lip product that I was shocked that I use it up so quickly. So satisfying though. And that is from Tarte. It's the Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump in the shade Cherry Blossom. So I was so tempted this year by the Tarte like juicy lip set that they came out with for Christmas. I had to talk myself away from buying it multiple times. And it was because there were products in there that I was like, those shades are not the shades for you. But I just love the juicy lip line from Tarte. So I decided to compromise with myself, and I got an email from Tarte that they were doing like, I think 40% off their whole website. So I was like, well, why don't I try some of these juicy lips that I wanted to try? I had never tried the lip plump version, just the regular line. And I gotta tell you, in the end, these, I think, are not as good as the original ones. I don't think you get as much color payoff. There is like a slight buxom tingling sensation, but I don't think it actually plumps my lips. And I've kind of grown away from liking the minty feel of things on my lips. I prefer just to have a gloss, be glossy and not glossy and minty. But I blew through this. I kept this at my desk at school, and I did appreciate the fact that it was almost colorless. So it would just basically make my lips look juicy, which I do. I love a juicy looking lip. It's like my wheelhouse of favorites. So that's why I kept applying it. It felt nice on my lips, and I like the look of it on my lips. But aside from that, I don't know if I necessarily want to endorse or get in the habit of purchasing an expensive, what ends up being almost like a clear gloss on my lips. So I do prefer the original better than the lip plump, but I'm just very satisfied. I mean, I got this around Thanksgiving and it's already gone. So it tells you how addicted I was to it. Ooh, I have an eyeliner. This is the She Glam eyeliner. It is dual-ended. You've got a felt tip on the end, which I'm a girl who likes a felt tip. And then on the second end, you have this stamp, which is helping you to produce a wing. I did like this. Maybe you've noticed in videos, maybe you haven't, but I have been getting a bit more into my wing, and it's because I have finally gotten enough control of my face, to be able to hold down my eyelid to draw, like very briefly, a line. It's not perfect because I have like crepey, wrinkly, I got a lot of skin on these lids. So I do have to still pull my eye tight to be able to finish off the line on my actual lid. But this did help me better understand the geometry or the angle of my hooded eyes. So I appreciate it for that. Will I buy it again? No, but it was decent and relatively inexpensive. Then I have a foundation sample. I seem to have gathered a lot of foundation samples in the last 6 months, so I'm gonna try really hard to get those worked through because they're taking up like what feels like a lot of space in my makeup collection. So I have a second one of these JOA Crystal Glow Primadations. Because I purchase Impress nails all the time, I tend to get JOA samples from them, and I have to say, this format of sample is great because what you have here are 4 different choices of color, but more importantly, they give you the actual color wheel so you can see which one of these, where it falls on the color wheel, and if it's not the exact color match for you, where might you go? Case in point, I got FN030 was the closest match to me, which is here on the wheel. So you can see that there are 2 shades lighter, and I do require lighter shades, what I actually have on my face today. This I don't think is a bad product. I've had the sample before. What I think is maybe not my jam for it is 1, I have to lighten it, which I don't love, but 2, it is a heavier foundation. Like to me, it reads very full coverage. They claim that this is a 3-in-1. They claim that it's a blurring primer, it's got nourishing skincare, and then it's an illuminating foundation. But I just don't love how like heavy it looks. I think filming wise, it's fine, but I think in my everyday life, it just looks a little bit like more makeup than I typically apply. So not a bad thing if you like a multi-dimensional face product but also has more coverage. You probably will in fact enjoy this, and I think JOA products overall are pretty good. I haven't had too many that are absolutely terrible. Oh, can you believe I'm still talking about makeup? Well, prepare yourself because I've got every mascara known to man to share with you because I have just been on a tear with mascaras lately. First, I have what used to be my favorite primer of all time, and that is the Milani, the Violet One Lash Primer. We had a good run, this one and I, but sadly it's been replaced by the Sephora Lash Primer. I just love that one. This I think is pretty good for thickening your lashes. That's my biggest focus when it comes to a primer. I'm pretty good with length and amount of lashes, but they are relatively thin looking, and I just like to have my lashes look like they got a bit more body. So this primer is pretty good for that, but I prefer the Sephora one. It's a bit more foolproof. This one, the stopper can be kind of hit and miss. Sometimes it would get too gunky and then it would make my lashes too clumpy. I was willing to work with it, but I just prefer the ease of the Sephora one, and I get the same outcome in the end. So this is not a bad one. I probably would get it again, but I'm gonna keep going with the Sephora one as long as I can get that one discounted like I have recently. Then I have, again, thanks to couponing, this LA Girl Volumatic Full-On Volumizing Lash Lifting Mascara. I feel like LA Girl has been getting more attention lately as a brand on YouTube, but I don't really hear much about their mascara. And this one, the wand, it's got this sort of soft, spiky wand that bows out closer to the end. And I have to say, I really did like this. I thought this was great for helping just like coat my lashes pretty quickly. It is one of those formulas that is a bit on the drier side. So I feel like while this product is not totally out of life, I think that it just dried up and was getting harder and harder to like apply enough to fully cover my primer. And I'm not somebody who does multiple coats of the black mascara. I basically do 1 pass of my primer and 1 pass of this mascara, and like I call it good. And as I was working through this one, I had to keep doing more and more passes and it was more effort. So I was like, no, I'm good. Like I've got enough life out of this one. So I'm moving on. And then I have this other one. This is from e.l.f. This is the Lash Beats Defining and Lengthening Mascara. I am not the target audience for this. I am not looking for lengthening. This is just too thin. It's also a very spiky wand. I don't love an overly spiky wand, but I would apply this and it would just look like I had 8 lashes, like very thin lashes, and I want that thicker, almost like spider leg lashes. That's my sweet spot, and this did not get me there. I also have 3 sample mascaras. So 2 came from, I think it was like the Clean Mascara sampler from Sephora where you could cash in for a full size. And I had the Cali Ray Come Hell or High Water. This is a really nice mascara. What I like about this is it's almost like a thick, wet formula. So it really like coats itself onto the wand. It gets like just the right amount of product where I can apply it, and I really see this like nice thickening of my lashes. Love that. I would have cashed in for a full size of this if I didn't already have the full size. So I'm happy that I have another one of these to work through. Then I have the Ilia one. This is the Fullest Volumizing Mascara. Oh, this almost won out over the one I actually picked from Milk Makeup. This, I don't typically like these hourglass wands, and I don't typically like a big wand because I find that big wands are hard for me to not get mascara everywhere, all over my lid. It's insane. This was not that. It did such a nice job coating my lashes. It gave me everything I was looking for. Like, oh man. If this had been in a different like makeup mascara sample set where I could then cash in for a full size, I would absolutely be sold on that. I might treat myself to this in the future, but it was just a hair below the Milk one. Oh, I did enjoy it though. I did like it. Sadly though, that was not the case for the second mascara sampler that I got, which is the Lancome Lash Idol. I think this is what this one is. No, it's surprising for me because I normally like Lancome wands and mascaras. This one has a curve to it, which I don't necessarily mind. I think that's helpful for basically like maintaining the curl. I don't use a curling wand. Is that what it's called? A lash curler. I don't use those, but I feel like it does a nice job sort of keeping the movement of my lash. It really hugs the lashes, which is nice, but it just like doesn't, I think this is a stopper issue because again, I was feeling like I would apply it and I was like, no, like it's okay, but I can kind of see my primer through it. And then I would go again and I'd be like, oh, all right. And it's multiple layers and I'm just not here for multiple layers. I don't want to have to, on top of using a lash primer, also apply multiple layers of one mascara. So this ain't it for me, would not go get it. Whew, that was a long conversation. Let's move into like some low-hanging fruit categories. It'll go a little bit faster. I have just a very small grouping of skincare items. I have the duo that I bought back during the holiday season from Vanilla, which is their Clean It Zero in the purifying line. I have the Purifying Foam Cleanser and I have the Purifying Cleansing Balm. These were lovely. I have to say, I don't know if I need to get this one over the original one because I can get the original one in like a jumbo tub and it's a pretty decent price for usage, but this is not bad. I feel like if you are somebody who finds the original one causes you to break out or you have oily skin, this is great. This will help you not break out. And then I also really liked the foam cleanser. Only thing I didn't love was that it lost the air pocket pretty quickly on in its life. So I had to keep this upright all the time in order for it to not have to be like manipulated heavily for me to get product out of it. If you weren't someone who keeps your stuff in a drawer like I am, it probably won't bother you, but I just in general prefer either caps that pop or pumps, really pumps. So I'd have to see the full size of this, what the packaging looks like. If it's just exactly like this, I would likely pass on it, but also a pretty decent cleansing line. So I was really pleased to have tried this out. It did scratch that itch and confirms that I do still like this brand a lot. Then I have the Innisfree Intensive Hydrating Cream with green tea seed and then the hydrating toner. I want to love this line, but I think this is a classic example of it is too hydrating for my skin. I was going through like a phase where I was having acne breakout, which I hadn't had in a long time. Like the last time I had really aggressive acne was in my first trimester of my pregnancy. And then once I got trimester 2, it cleared up really fast. And I hadn't had acne like this, and I couldn't quite figure out what it was. I didn't think it was these things, but as I worked through them and weeded them out, my skin started to clear up. So I do sadly think these are not for me, but they are beautiful products. It's a beautiful line. So if you need hydration, check this out. I think this is a great like little set. They also have a cleanser, which I do still have, and a serum, all in that little like quad of items, which I think is very reasonably priced. So use this in honor of me. If you have dry skin, because I think you're gonna really like it, because I really did, and I'm sad that I can't subscribe to using it all the time. All right, second category that is relatively small is baby/mom empties. So the first empty that I have is my Legendary Milk Pumping Spray. This is basically what I use as a lubricant for my flanges, because I am exclusively pumping. I do think I'm nearing the end of my pumping journey soon, which is wild to think about, but we'll find out. But this has been game-changing for me to have. It's just so much easier to use. It's very like mess-free, which I appreciate, and it's made a difference for pumping. I've been using it, I want to say since I think June or July is when I started picking it up. So it's great. Get the big size. Don't regret it. On to baby girl. I have a body wash. This is the Eucerin Baby Eczema Relief Cream Body Wash. This is lovely. I started picking this up once I could no longer find readily available to me the Honest eczema line. I feel like it is most accessible on their website, but I'm a cheapo and I only want to buy it when it's on sale, which is not very frequently. So I've been holding out and trying to purchase this stuff when it is with a coupon as well, because this stuff is not cheap. It's like 20 bucks at CVS, which is a lot for this product, but I like this because similar to the eczema line body wash from Honest, this clings to her skin. So I really feel like when I am rinsing it off of her and rubbing it off of her, it is helping to keep her hydrated and also keeping her skin from getting overly dry and cracky. So I do think it's worth it. I have purchased a couple of these now just for sales and stuff. It's pricey, but I do like the line. And then I also have some lotions. I've used up the Johnson's baby lotion. This nourishes baby skin for 24 hours. I don't think super highly of Johnson's stuff, but I have a bunch of it from her shower. So I just been slowly using it. This is basically like her daytime lotion. We apply lotion to her in the morning and at night. So in the morning she gets this, or if we don't give her a bath at night, she'll get this applied. It does the job for keeping her relatively hydrated and like combating general dryness this time of year. But more importantly, I have reacquainted her with the Honest Eczema Balm. This stuff is awesome. I really like it. It's pricey, but I did pick up a number of them when they were, I think, 30 or 40% off around Black Friday, Thanksgiving time, somewhere in there. So this stuff is great, and it really has helped keep her eczema at bay. It was a real big flare up for a while there, and now we've got it pretty much under control, which is great to see. Couple of hair items here. I've got a shampoo and a conditioner. These are both ones that were housed at my parents' house. Because we go to Maine frequently and stay there for periods of time, I tend to just leave toiletries, full-size toiletries at my parents' house so that I don't have to constantly pack them, which just makes everything easier. So I finally got to a place the last time we were up there, like beginning of December. I was like, I might as well just take these home and finish them off. So I did that. I have the oldest shampoo of my life. It's the Function of Beauty. Oh boy, I am certainly not a Function of Beauty person. I'm sure I probably could have made this better by reaching out to the company and explaining that I didn't like the formula, but I just didn't have it in me. I just didn't like this. I just didn't love it. I don't think it's worth the price point. I have tried this and the competitor of this, which is Formulate, and I think Formulate is a lot better. I don't know, I just didn't jive with it, so I'm not sold on the experience. And then the other one that I have is from the Body Shop. It's the Ginger Scalp Care Conditioner. There was a time in my life where I lived and died by the shampoo from this line. I was getting like really dry, flaky scalps in the winter, and that stuff was the only stuff that would combat it. And when they came out with a conditioner, I was like, yes, I was so excited to get my hands on it. Like, I couldn't wait. But I don't know why, because I don't condition my scalp. I only put conditioner in like from my ears and below. If I go above that, it weighs my hair down and makes my hair look greasy, even if it's freshly washed. So this didn't really serve a purpose. And I don't know why I was so gangbusters to try it. So it just kind of hung around because I was using it like very sparingly and finally just brought it to Maine. So neither one of these were hits for me. I wouldn't go out and get them again. Let's go ahead and talk nail items. I've got two of my Kiss nail glues. These are awesome for being able to add just an extra layer of security to my nails. I'm very hard on my nails. I do a lot of hand washing. I have very dry hands, dry climate. So this, I think, helps them last even longer. I definitely endorse doing the adhesive with the nail glue. All right, most of the nails I have come from Impress, but I have one from Dashing Diva. These are the Magic Press Short. They came from the Christmas line. I got these this year. This is what the pattern looked like. They had a reindeer, and then I think there was a Santa, a snowman. There was something else beyond a reindeer here. These are lovely, very durable, very Christmassy. I enjoyed wearing them. Then I have one not from the Christmas line my mother gave to me. These are from Impress called Symphony, and they're basically this maroon nail with a gold accent. Oh, these were great. I really like these as a winter color. They were a great winter nail. I really went hard for the Christmas nails this year, more than I ever have before. So this is like a nice post-Christmas palette cleanse when I was like, stop wearing Christmas nails, wear an actual color. As you're gonna see in just a moment, I have a lot of Christmas nails. So big fan of these. And I don't think I would have bought these myself, but now that I had them and wore them, I would probably buy them again. All right, I've got one Christmas nail from last year, and these were called Slay. These had a like ruby red slipper accent nail with the candy cane French little nail, and then there was also a reindeer French tip, which I love. That's why I got these again. Wore these twice, very happy with them. They're, again, I feel like truly Christmas, but not obnoxious Christmas, which there's a fine line I like to walk with that particular topic, but these were lovely. And if they come out again next year, they came out this year, but I didn't need to rebuy them because I already had them. So if they come out again next year, I'll definitely buy some. As for this year's, I basically focused on using kind of like these, what I'm going to categorize as almost like neutral or toned down Christmas nails. Let me show you and explain. So the first ones that I had were actually pink. So they had this soft, like millennial pink matte nail. Then there was this pretty confetti nail. And then they also had a like Christmas tree detail, but it was again in that like muted color. So unless you got really close to my nails, you couldn't tell that they were truly Christmassy. These ones were called Dear Santa. Very beautiful. Very happy to have worn them twice through. Then I had these were called Jingle Bells, and these were a bit more in your face, but they had a cream base nail with these beautiful glitter nails, and then the actual accent were the two different options. You had like a Christmas tree that had the red and white jewels, and then you also had at the very top of some of these some red and white jewels. So again, a call out to Christmas, but it wasn't, oh my God, Christmas, Santa all on my fingers type of nail. So I also pulled these off twice because I started wearing Christmas nails in November, which is very rare for me. I normally wait until Christmas, but I had so many, and I still have so many that I absolutely couldn't wait. And then the last ones I have are called Santa Buddies. And these ones I'm actually surprised I'm letting go of because there are some true like pretty accent nails left on here, but I've already worn them twice. So for these ones, you had a combination of this like light beige and then this cream. And you can see here there were candy canes and there were these little red and white dots. But the other accent nails were these like soft, like stripes of red and green with a few little like jewels on them, and they weren't like red or green jewels, but they were to me neutral. Like I wore these like I think last week, so we're talking in January, and they weren't again very Christmassy looking. They were just very soft because I essentially wore them with all of these brown nails, hence why I have the candy canes left over. Again, unusual. I normally am like intense Christmas nail person, but I liked these and I liked the direction they went this year as a company. So happy I worked through so many Christmas nails, but I do probably still have like 6 or 7 other pairs that I didn't quite get to this year. So I got to really cool it on my Christmas nail purchasing because there are only so many weeks in a year that I can wear Christmas nails. Okay, we're turning the corner. We've got two kind of bigger categories left to talk about. The second to last one is my body items. So I have a couple of sets of things to discuss. So the first one comes from the Body Shop. I was gifted this year very kindly a little trio of items from the Body Shop from the almond milk line. I had never tried this line before or this scent before, but I have to say it was a very interesting experience. The first one that I tried was the shower cream. I'd never used this formulation before, and I gotta tell you, the scent of this almost is like Play-Doh, which is not great, but the actual cream in here is very nice. If you are somebody who prefers like a creamier, more hydrating, thicker type of shower gel, go and explore this. Not this scent, but go explore other scents from the Body Shop from this line because it was a very pleasant experience. And then I also used from the same scent the body butter. Interestingly, the body butter, ooh, lovely. Smells so nice, so relaxing. Again, a very seasonally neutral scent and not very offensive. If you're somebody who's not like super into heavy scents, this is nice, very inoffensive. And again, I've really been turned on to body butters in the last couple of years. They are just a very lovely experience, and these leave you super hydrated for definitely the 24+ hour mark. Other two that I have are whipped creams from Fortune Cookie Soap. It's like, I feel like once a year they have a collection that just sucks me in. And this time around it was their Encanto collection. So I bought a number of items from that line, not having tried any of it. And one of those was their whipped cream sampler. I am such a sucker for the whipped cream samplers. So I have Fantastical and Magical, which I've also used as a wax melt. And then Something True. I don't really know what other one of these smell like, but they're pleasant. This almost is like a soft cotton candy. And then this one, I don't know, like a spicy fruit, maybe. But they're lovely, lovely creams. And these little samplers, I'm able to get close to 3 applications of, which I think is great, goes a long way. Loving the samplers. It's a nice way to get basically a complete set of lotion. Like you get a good amount. I think there is 1 ounce of here. So you get the equivalent of a full size plus some, but you get good scent variety. So it's nice to use these alongside something full size that just gives me like a little bit of variety without having to commit to a big amount of it. So this is great. I have a few more of these to use up, so you'll see them continuing to be sprinkled in throughout the year. Continuing on with lotion, I've been a dry little fiend. I have one of the duo I picked up from the Hemp's holiday collection. This is their Sugar Cookie Dough Herbal Body Butter. Oh my gosh, this is obnoxious. This is so sickly sweet. I almost was tired of it by the very end. I definitely am glad this was just a small tub and not a full size guy, because I don't know if I would have loved it as much, but the actual texture of this lotion, beautiful. It's very hydrating. It's been a long time since I've used a Hemp's body product, and it definitely makes me want to keep my eye out for future releases from them in this type of format, because this was just lovely. Okay, I've got 2 exfoliants to discuss. One is not an exfoliant. This is from Fortune Cookie Soap. It's called This Is Tradition Exfoliating Body Wash. These are a sham of an exfoliant. It basically is just like a body wash that has little beads in it. That is not why I use it. I used it simply to have as a shower gel. The scent of this, so yummy. I caved this year and last minute decided to buy their advent calendar for just 6 days, not the full 12 days. And I have to say, I wasn't in love with it. I haven't been in love with it the past couple of years, so this year and last year. So I think next year I genuinely will pass on it, because I just, for some reason, don't find myself loving it. I feel like it's maybe the time of year. I don't love the type of scents they come out with this time of year, because I love their Easter box and I love their Halloween box. They always crush those 2 for me. So I think it's time that I actually just start skipping their Christmas one. But this scent was amazing. I don't know what the theme of this was, what it's a callback to, and I don't know what the scent notes were, but it was great. Then I have my actual great exfoliant from Tree Hut Scrub, and the most amazing scent, which is Candy Cane. Oh my gosh, this. It's like the perfect balance of sweet peppermint. It's so yummy. So nice. I'm so happy I used it. I absolutely finished it off and was like, I want a second one. And then I thought to myself, no. You have other exfoliants to use. Save this and have it become similar to snowflakes and cashmere and just use it once a year like I like to do with that scent. So I'm going to try doing that. I think this is great. If you come across it, buy it. Thank me later because it is such a yummy minty scent. To wrap up this category, I have a foot mask. This is my Sephora coconut foot mask in the fun Christmassy packaging. I am such a sucker for this packaging. These masks are just like the other masks that they have. I'm just very glad that there's not ever a price hike that they do when they do like the special Christmassy packaging, because it really is the same thing, just in cute little foily packaging. So I only have, I think, a couple of these, but this is great. These foot masks are the best. I have tried other ones that are around the same price point. Saving the extra $1.50 does not make it worth it because these are just superior in formulation. So very happy that I use this to help combat my dry feet. Okay, rounding off my longest video ever, I have what is basically Fortune Cookie Soap empties that are in this like other catch-all category. So I have my laundry detergent. This is the only detergent we use for mine and Ben's laundry. For baby girls, we're using like that special, I think it's like the Drite formula for her, whatever. But this stuff is great. I always just buy it when it's on the smell you later, like discounted 30% off time, because I don't feel like these are the big sellers for them, but I think this stuff works. I like the scent of it. I don't feel like it really hangs around in my clothes, which is fine for me. I really just care more about it cleaning my clothes, which it does the job very nicely. So I will keep buying these. I also have a couple of sprays from them. No, 3 sprays from them. So I have the Rot-Row toilet spray, which came out in my 2020 or 2021? Yeah, 2021 Halloween box. I like the toilet sprays. I don't think I would go out of my way to buy them, but when they come my way, I do use them. And then I also got, I think this was in my Easter box of the spring. It's the Freeze Head Spa Mist. Basically, you would bring this into your shower and spray your shower to create like a spa-like experience. I did it. It was fine. I don't feel like the scent lingered. I would spray it like 3 or 4 spritzes, and within about 2 minutes, the scent would go away, which I think took away from the spa-like experience, but it was fine. I'm not finding myself, now that it's gone, being like, oh, you know what I wish I had right now? My spa mist. But again, if it comes my way, I'll either use it as a room spray or as a shower spray because it's not hurting anything. And I also have the My Bride Must Be Beautiful Fine Fragrance Mist. This was a household car spray because I don't wear their fine fragrance mists. It's fine, but nothing I need to have. We then come into hand sanitizers. I've got 2 from Fortune Cookie Soap. I've got the Jinkies, which was also in my Scooby-Doo box. This stuff smelled very nice, but it was very strong. And then I have I Am No Man. I don't know what that's a callback collection to, but this one was also decent. It takes me a long time to use these. I use this in my car or in my classroom, so it takes a while for them to get worked through, but I managed to do so. And then my 2 final ones that aren't Fortune Cookie Soap but are in the same category, I have the Super Tarts Laundry Booster. This was peppermint, teakwood, and fern. This came in my advent calendar this year. It's fine, but I don't necessarily need to boost my laundry, so I'm not gonna buy this. And then I have this really random Groovy Beauty Blooming Peony hand sanitizer from my classroom. I got this at Walgreens for, I think, like $1.50, and it was fine to help just keep our hands clean, and it took us a very long time to use it up. Oh my gosh. That's it. We're done. If you watch this whole thing, thank you. You are an amazing human. This was a lot, and I vow in the new year to not allow myself to go this long without filming if I can absolutely help it, because that was cuckoo bananas and that was too many empties for me to have piled up around my house. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will catch you in my next video real soon. Bye.